Hello, my friends, and welcome to Empower Your Amazing Life Story, Embracing Our Wholeness and Expanding Our Horizons YouTube channel. My name is Mercy Martinez, and today I'm bringing you a new program, 2019, Achieving Our Resolutions. How do you want to fill in each day, all those 365 days, in a way that we can say we have achieved our resolutions? I guess we can say we already have filled the first 7 or so days. Have you noticed what have you done in these first 7 or 8 days of 2019? Did you do any action that was connected to your resolution list of 2019? Did we do any movement towards achieving those goals? You know, every year we go through the desire to make a list, of making the list, and then the desire to hopefully keep um, keep at it so that we can achieve it towards the end of 2019, or even if you're able to achieve it before, that's even greater. For some, this is a very easy thing to do because their natural habit of disciplining structure helps them actualize a list, actualize their desires. But for others that don't have a habit of discipline and structure, and they are more improvisational type of individual, more creative type of souls, every structure or discipline feels like they're constricting and limiting their options. So depending on where you are in the scale of creativity, or are you more apt to organize and be disciplined versus someone that doesn't like to organize or do some discipline in their life, is contingent, I guess, in achieving these goals that we set for ourselves every year. So how can we integrate into our daily life the habit to be conscious each day of what we desire to accomplish for this year? What can we do each day that takes us in a path of actually doing things that is in alignment with achieving the resolutions? Because yeah, we can do a lot of stuff. The thing that we sometimes forget is it's not how many actions, how much doing we're doing, if they're not connected to moving us forward in achieving those resolutions we have placed in a list for us to achieve for 2019. So I usually say, let's not just wish we can achieve it, but actually let's do something. Let's do the necessary detail brainstorming session with your list, with our list, because I do have also a list myself, that we can create the necessary steps to manifest and accomplish it. We all look at New Year's, and I'm saying we all because I think that's more natural for us to look at the new year as a new beginning, and with great hope, and as an inspiration to let go of the past and focus on what we want to accomplish towards the future. And surely we need to be conscious of what we desire for the future so we can focus on the present and make sure we're doing the actions that will take us towards those goals that we have set for our future, or what I can call the horizon. And this is truly powerful as long as we're not running away from our past, but instead have integrated into us, into our consciousness, all the lessons learned from the past year or the years even, and all the past years that we have experienced and memories that we have. I hear a lot of suggestion, recommendation on just let it go. And I have to say, letting go is not as easy as just a simple phrase, let it go. If it would be, I think the world would have let it go and be in a different vibrational frequency, right? I worked with this concept very intensively in 2017. And boy, by 2018, I realized that the depth of this action and how liberating it truly is. When I understood that by letting go, letting the action itself, the saying, letting go, is not about negating something that has occurred or by devaluing it or just throwing it away as if it didn't exist. I was truly able to feel a deep peace in my heart and a sense of liberation that truly had not experienced before. After practicing letting go and letting God in for several months. The key here of letting go and letting God in is that I could visualize, I could feel when challenges came into my arena, to my life, or memories of past hurts and pain came into my life. I would take a moment, close my eyes, feel my heart, and I would take that bundle of emotion, memory, and I would really truly say, I let it go as I let God in. And when I did that, it was like I actually visualized that situation in my hands and lifting it towards the divine source, the universe, God, and then opening my heart for the healing, for the knowledge, for the lessons to come into me. As I said, I let God in. In that, I was saying to the universe, to divine source, bring forth, integrate into me the lessons that I know I have learned from this so that I'm aware of them and healed any pain or wound that I may have from this incident. And the more I did this, which at a time it was almost daily, it became truly empowering when I saw the behind the scenes effects. It was amazing. The healing of my wounds, the integrating of the lessons that I had learned into my life story. And I say into my life story because we are our life stories. We carry all the experiences, all the memories in within us in our life story. But before, let me explain. Let me explain that when I am mentoring or coaching or just even listening to participants in my workshops, my innate ability to see beyond the scenes of a story helps me guide the individuals in a way that helps them heal and integrate the experience in such a manner that it frees them, or what I would say, lets them be aware of the unspoken self-imposed limitations that we put in our horizon. And we shrink the expanded horizon just to see, almost as if we're seeing from a little window, because we put some binders in our defenses. And those binders shrink the horizon into a small little window. We unconsciously put on these binders as a byproduct of the pain, sorrow, or experience that we felt vulnerable. And it's very understandable, right? We want to protect ourselves. We don't want to repeat the same pain. We surely don't want to consciously create such a path where we get hurt over and over doing the same situation. So what happens? We think that when we let go, we're just not going to remember, and we're going to be open to be vulnerable again the same way and repeat the same experience over and over. But truly, it is not letting go, not healing, that is making us repeat the pattern. We're holding unconsciously to the why of the experience because we do not want to repeat the experience or feel the pain again. And thus it becomes the number one block that is not letting us move forward with a greater expanded horizon. Really, truly. Seeing our horizon or our possibilities and probabilities of what we can do in the future through a window is not the same as if there's no window. There's a huge open expansiveness in front of you, and you can see the unlimited resources that the universe can provide for us. When we can just move from that limitation, from that little window, into a place where we see our horizon ahead completely with no interference, we're really opening to all the possibilities and probabilities that probably have been there all along, but because we were looking at from that little window, we couldn't see them. When we're able to feel it in our body, that the lesson is already in our consciousness. You feel it from knowing or from sensing your level of confidence. You start feeling less fearful or having to protect yourself with such a defender type of attitude because you know that the information is within you. That is what letting go and letting God in did for me as I practiced it through 2017. It didn't take the whole year. It just took a few months. But I can tell you by the start of 2018, I was starting a year full of confidence. I was starting a year with a horizon that I had not seen before. That brought me to 2019. So it started 2017, letting go and letting God. A few months later, within that 2017, I started to work with the expanded horizon. By 2018, even though was a traumatic year as I experienced some heavy hitting and some experiences that were pretty harsh. But to my amazement, my reaction to that experience that was pretty harsh, betrayal at a level that was totally unexpected. And instead of going to anger, instead of regretting, instead of feeling deflated or defeated, I felt a peace in me that I had never felt before. I pray for the individuals who had betrayed me, who had energetically felt like I had been backstabbed, right? Instead, I said, I guess it's not to be. I gave it to God, to the universe. I pray for the highest good of all, for each individual, including myself. And then I said, so what is new for me, right? The past is done. This happened. I learned my lesson. I understand each of us have a destiny to fulfill in whatever way we choose to. We're not here to make sure that we're in a kumbaya and everybody is in the same page. Each of us have the uniqueness of having a soul, a spirit within us. And it is through our free will that we make our choices. Liberated me completely. And so here I am, 2019, new resolutions. With such a joy, my adventure self finally got liberated. And my adventure self wants to just look at 2019 and said, wow, so many probabilities, so many possibility to explore. But if I don't make some discipline, some structure, my 2019 resolutions will not be accomplished, right? And it's okay. We can just look at them and place it in a discipline or structure that has movement, that is not restricted, let's say. I don't have to make a schedule that says you have to do this, but I can make a schedule that says explore and see what steps you want to create next. So let's look at that. Here's an exercise. We can look at the 2019 resolution in this way. Take a few moments. You can go into your heart and just be honest with yourself. This is your list. No one else needs to know. And ask yourself for each resolution, does this resolution have any past experience? Meaning, is it tied to something that I experienced in the past? If so, does it still have the energy of pain, sorrow, regret? And if it still has any of those emotions, place a little star or a mark beside that particular resolution. Now, let's go to the ones that do not have a star. For those resolutions that you are at peace, you're joyful, you're ready to go and explore, ask yourself what action or action steps will be required for me to achieve or actualize this resolution. And be honest with yourself. When I say be honest with yourself, move from wishing to actual reality action steps. Brainstorm through them. Put it in a piece of paper. What all the actions that I believe that I will need to do so I can achieve it. And then after you have all those steps, all those actions, you can ask yourself, what can I do daily that will help me keep focus on these action steps? What can I do daily that will help me keep my focus on these action steps? So by now, what we do is we create an action step plan that you can put in place, and please make it simple steps. Chunk it down so you can follow it easier, so you can actualize your action step plan, action plans. It is easier when we do simple steps because it will create a new habit. When your daily um, action items have a little bit, one little step that helps us move forward into achieving our new year resolutions, it starts to become a habit. And when we're creating a new habit, it shifts all our perceptions. So being present in the presence of achieving our new resolutions. And I hope that you're able to do this, let's say this week. We're still in time. We just started 2019. We get that list now. Let's put a little star or a little mark to those that have some attachment to an emotion from the past. And we will be working with them in the next few weeks. For now, let's take and look at the ones that don't have any emotional pain or sorrow or hurt from the past. They're free to explore so that we can start exploring what action steps we can create that will help us put the smaller, simple steps on our daily to-do list. And that way allows us to explore, test, let's say what I called adventure, into exploring all the different possibilities. We don't have to stick to one. We can stick to different possibilities. We can test them, see if the assumption we have about what action are required are true. And if so, then what other actions will be required? If it's not so, what other things have you discovered that you did not know before? And now you can put them into simple steps. Let's be proactive. Let's have every day an adventure and an exploration in your to-do list that helps you keep the presence of your resolutions, the desire of achieving your resolutions for 2019, and be practical but adventurous, be focused but also open to the expanded horizon in front of us. And next week, I'll be sharing with you what to do with those that we have a little star or a little mark that has still emotions attached to it from a past experience. We're going to be working on how to heal in wholeness and how we can integrate those lessons learned into our consciousness so we can really let it go. Well, thank you for listening and giving me this opportunity to share with all of you some of things that have worked for me and that I have worked for most of my clients. I invite you to subscribe to this channel so you can receive notifications of the new shows as I publish them. My channel, Empower Your Amazing Life Story, will be publishing weekly shows like this one. So I invite you to tune in every Tuesday. Also, let me know if there's any topic or questions you may have that I can address for you. Just write down in the comments section and I will respond as quickly as possible. Or you can always email me at mercy@mercymartinez.com, Mercy with a Y. And I truly wish you a spectacular week. I hope this exercise helped you with your resolutions list for 2019. And until next week.